Are you looking for 10 best things to do in Turks and Caicos? Visitors are attracted to Turks and Caicos' promise of sun, sand, and a very enjoyable environment, in particular on Provincials. But thrill seekers also can discover a few brilliant diving sites. Together with Salt Cay or Smith's Reef, sightseeing is likewise quite top on Grand Turk. Recent site visitors cautioned the Turks and Caicos National Museum for any lifestyle hounds or records buffs inquisitive about getting to know greater approximately the islands beyond. But the nightlife is scarce, except the atypical dance membership right here and the random seaside bonfire there. Selections are restricted. Here is the list of 10 best things to do in Turks and Caicos. 1. Grace Bay. Vacationers are nearly continually thrilled with Grace Bay in Provo, raving approximately its tender sand and turquoise water, with a few even dubbing it the world's nice seaside. The seaside's breathtaking surf and sand, plus its proximity to a golfing direction and masses of stores and restaurants, depart maximum visitors pleasantly satisfied. Located in a Japanese criminal of Provincials, Grace Bay touts greater than 3 miles of tender ashen sand and open crystalline water to placate sunbathers. There's little color, so come early with inside the morning to get your preference of umbrellas. Some of the island's maximum well-appreciated restaurants, together with Solana Teppanyaki and Sushi Bar, are sheltered alongside Grace's shore, as are the maximum famous hotels. What's greater, they do not thoughts non-visitors taking walks as much as dine. Recent tourists suggest snorkeling at Bight Reef. You can ask your concierge approximately renting water sports activities gadget or arranging an afternoon sail. If you are staying in a Grace Bay hotel, you could additionally solicit one of the excursion operators that depart from this location. Grace Bay is a public seaside. It really is open all hours of the day, each day of the week. 2. Taylor Bay. If you generally tend to interpret taking a dip literally, then you will love the loads of yards of shallow water that make Taylor Bay ideal for buying your FT wet, with no steep drop-offs to fear. Dad and Mom can loosen up even as kids play in knee-excessive waters, and the classy of reputedly unending rippling sand makes Taylor Bay in particular tranquil. This seaside lies at the southwest coast of Provo, simply 2.5 miles from the metropolis of 5 Ks. White sand fills the seaside's crescent shape, and the intense blue water, which makes starfish seen to shallow water swimmers, suits the appeal of a few of the seashores on Provincials. It may be an assignment to make your manner to Taylor Bay consistent with latest site visitors, so ensure that you've got clean instructions earlier than you head out. Your adventure could be rewarded with restricted crowds, but the spot's remoteness additionally has drawbacks, together with no color or facilities. Keep this in thoughts and plan to present provisions. 3. Bight Reef. On Grace Bay in Provincials, you will discover a footpath simply offshore close to the Coral Gardens Resort. Follow that route to Floating Buoys in order to manual you in your Bight Reef snorkel. A collection of symptoms, and symptoms will assist you pick out the specific species which you discover alongside the manner. One TripAdvisor reviewer additionally supplied the subsequent advice: be positive to snorkel out to the buoys at the outer edges, as the ones regions regarded to draw specific fish. Note upon which of the reef's many caves and crevasses you explore. Many sorts of colorful fish may be visible poking inside and out in their habitat. If you are lucky, you will even spot a sea turtle swimming close by, and with water as shallow as 3 FD in a few spots and as deep as 16 FD in others. The flexible reef fits all stages of snorkel enjoy. Recent tourists suggest the spot for children because of the reef's proximity to the shore. Keep in thoughts that snorkeling is continually higher whilst the water is calmer, so keep your underwater journey for an honest climate day. 4. Provo Golf Club. Hopes of touchdown a hollow in one amid palm timber and jutting limestone carry tourists to the fairways of the Provo Golf Club, the simplest 18-hollow direction on Turks and Caicos. The close to ideal climate of Provincials makes it clean for golfers to spend the day out of doors studying this lush, 20-year antique direction. Turks and Caicos indigenous flowers surround the fairways, and crimson flamingos may be noticed close to the greens. Recent golfers say the par 72 direction is well manicured with all the classy enchantment of the Caribbean, but it is now no longer simplest appears that make this direction stand out. The personnel additionally earns excessive marks from site visitors. Tee instances are to be had each day from 7 a.m. till sundown. It costs $195 to play a complete spherical and $110 to play 9 holes. Inexperience is not anything to fear. Approximately, Provo Golf Club gives golfing instructions from PGA coaching specialists for $80 in line with 1 hour person session. If you propose to play, make sure to present right golfing attire. This membership sticks to a get dressed code, but do not be worried approximately bringing your golf equipment from domestic Titleist golf equipment are to be had to lease on web page. The clubhouse is domestic to the season save, and the Fairways Bar and Grill, in which a wraparound porch has panoramic perspectives of the sprawling golfing direction. A taxi from downtown Provo will take among 5 and 15 minutes. 5. Little Water Cay. Iguana Island might also additionally sound like a frightening place. However, in Turks and Caicos, the moniker fondly refers to Little Water Cay, domestic to the island's closing endangered populace of rock iguanas. The Turks and Caicos National Trust leads efforts to guard the habitat. That's only a brief journey through boat from Providential's Leeward Marina. Many nearby businesses like Big Blue Collective provide tours to the island or comprise the Upkeep web page in different cruising or snorkeling outings. You also can find out Little Water Cay's islets through kayak or stand-up paddleboard. If you attempt your hand at a stand-up paddleboard or kayak journey via the close-by mangroves, you would possibly see sight of sea turtles and child sharks. Long boardwalks unfold throughout the island provide site visitors a threat to walk amongst greenery and analyze greater approximately the local natural world and vegetation. Recent site visitors stated you're without a doubt assured to peer the numerous iguana population with ease. 6. Governor's Beach. Governor's Beach is every other brilliant alternative for a bit mild snorkeling. It's positioned off the southwestern coast of Grand Turk, now no longer a ways from the harbor, and consequently sees a variety of hobby-on-cruise deliver days. At different instances, this seaside is a late-again respite with an extremely good view. The stately governor's house is in simple view, and in spring and summertime season you could spot the atypical flamingo. That's what is happening above the surface. Below the ocean there are a few superb tropical fish and coral. Popular dive businesses on Grand Turk like Blue Water Divers and Oasis Divers will assist you set up a snorkel or dive journey of the location. Governor's Beach is one of the closest seashores to the cruise port, and latest tourists say the 15 to 20-minute stroll to Governor's could make all of the distinction if you are searching for peace and quiet that does not come on the rate of seaside facilities. Overall, it became a totally big seaside, and we should without difficulty discover our very own large patch of sand. The seaside had toilets and a bar, one TripAdvisor reviewer stated. 7. Smith's Reef. Packed with sea existence, Smith's Reef on Providential's appeals to snorkelers in any respect stages. Stingrays, turtles, lobsters, and masses of brightly colored fish will in all likelihood swim through at some stage in your dive close to this underwater sanctuary. You can input the reef location at 3 specific factors: north, east, and critical get right of entry to. Recent tourists suggest locating a sandy pathway close to the small parking location in order to manual you into the water. Rocky regions may be slippery and greater dangerous as such. Many propose which you put on water footwear. Bight Reef at Coral Gardens is every other marine existence haven famous with Turks and Caicos tourists, but Smith's large length and greater colorful animals appear to hook tourists selecting among them, while the shallow reef method even amateur snorkelers can spot natural world. Latest tourist warning that waves can pose a visibility threat. Reviewers additionally warn that locating Smith's Reef may be an assignment. The critical and west get right of entry to factors are discovered off of Coconut Drive, even as the east get right of entry to factor is discovered off the S-bend on Lower Bight Road east of the Turtle Cove Marina. If you are snorkeling close to the east get right of entry to factor, be careful for boats getting into and exiting the canal close to the marina. 7. Smith's Reef. Salt Cay isn't always the #1 vacation spot for maximum who go to Turks and Caicos. However, it does make a mellow day trip for the ones looking to get away Provo's hustle and bustle or the cruise deliver clusters alongside Grand Turk. It's a small island that beckons to low-key vacationers. Pinnacle sports variety from lounging to seaside bumming to whale watching, and of direction, scuba diving, and snorkeling. If you go to Salt Cay among December and April, you would possibly even see a few North Atlantic humpback whales migrating for the winter. Diving aficionados declare you could listen to songs of the whales from underwater. For diving journeys round Salt Cay, touch Salt Cay Divers. When you are now no longer exploring below the water's surface, loosen up alongside the island's white sands. Some of Salt Cay's maximum famous seashores encompass North Bay, Long Bay, and South District Beach. 9. Turks and Caicos Horseback Riding. If you are seeking out a completely unique manner to enjoy the white sand seashores of TCI, do not forget a scenic horseback ride, suitable for novices and pro equestrians. Horseback driving is a famous hobby for TCI site visitors. One exceedingly encouraged employer is Provo Ponies, which gives horseback driving tours each on land and partly submerged with inside the sea. Recent riders say the horses are friendly, hit, and love heading into the water as much as their stomach level. Be positive to put on closed-toe water footwear that might not slip off with inside the waves. 10. Turks and Caicos National Museum. If you are in want of a wet day hobby or are simply inquisitive about getting to know greater approximately the records and lifestyle of the islands, plan a prevent on the Turks and Caicos National Museum. The museum's well-known shows variety from showcasing the island's herbal records to chronicling the lives of its former slaves to showing data approximately nearby shipwrecks. It's positioned in a historic constructing in Cockburn Town on Grand Turk. Recent tourists discover the museum profitable no matter its small length. There's a great deal to peer and do unfold out at the museum's floors. Further to a museum save and library. If you are crunched for time, go to the museum to analyze greater approximately the Molasses Reef wreck, the oldest European shipwreck to be excavated with inside the Western Hemisphere, or approximately the sinking of the slave-delivered Troubadour, the simplest regarded spoil of a deliver concerned with inside the unlawful slave trade.